The teacher just told me about Chronicling America, historic American newspapers, and about some different ways we can use it with Insert Learning. So here is how to make historical newspapers interactive. So what we're going to be on is chroniclingamerica.loc.gov. So it's part of the Library of Congress. And what they've done is they've digitized a whole like years of historical newspapers. So from 1789 to 1924. You can search through here. You can go by state and year and things like that. So a lot of different options. And the one that we're going to look at right here is the Oasis from Arizona. So a couple of things you can do here. One of the immediate things you can do is on this page is you can load Insert Learning on here and then add in a sticky note. So I already had that. So what you can do is with your toolbar on the left-hand side is on some of these different spots, if they highlight yellow or light up yellow, that means you can add in a sticky note or questions. So here you could then add in some instructions or video. You could follow this up with some questions then from here as well. Add a question here, asking students to look at certain segments of the page. So there's a couple of spots like before and after where you can add in elements with Insert Learning. Another option is not all of them, but a lot of them, they have OCR. So what they've done is they've taken the image and they've turned it into text. So I'm going to click on text. And now on here, you can actually then start to add in some elements on the page itself. So I'm going to load and Insert Learning on here. Now we can do the same thing of you can add in sticky notes and things like that up here at the beginning and down here, and then add in some questions, or if we want to add in a discussion about a certain part here. So if we want to add in discussion here, we'll get that in. Now the formatting is a little bit funky. What's nice though about doing this, you could copy this content and put it into a Google Doc also and kind of like change around the formatting of the text. But one of the things that is nice is that you are still on the actual page. So it's easy to have students then go back to the original source and kind of go through and explore. Now, one of the other things that you can do is, so I'm going to open this in a new tab, is you can also use their tool to quickly make little screenshots. So if I wanted to zoom in on part of this right here, so if I wanted to have like just that part, what you can do is you can click on this little snippet tool, and then it's going to give you a screenshot of just that portion. So what I'll do now is you could either have this itself be something that you use with Insert Learning, like so you can add in elements on here, so you want to highlight just certain elements of the newspaper instead of the whole thing, or you could then also copy that image and heading back over to this one, the text version that we had, you could then add in a sticky note and then paste in that image that you had copied, now put it in there. So you could then highlight portions of the original article within the text itself right there. And then if this kind of gets in the way, because it does kind of overlap the text, you can minimize this, so it makes it a little bit easier then to be able to read as students are going along. So this is chroniclingamerica.loc.gov. So you can then add in your questions and then your different elements. You can bring in YouTube videos and a whole variety of other things into here to make these historical newspapers very interactive and then have students go through and highlight stuff. I didn't even talk about that. Students can then use the highlighter and the sticky note to go through and then be highlighting things. And you can now have them also change the colors. So you could then have certain things of like highlighting people or places or vocabulary or things that they have questions in different colors. So maybe anything that they have a question about, they could then highlight in green, let's say, and vocabulary then would be in yellow. So there's just a couple of different ways you can use Chronicling America in your classes.